Harold and the Web of Light, a sci-fi family story inspired by the Allen family. In every home, there are corners we never notice, corners where light and shadow quietly meet. But sometimes, in those quiet places, something extraordinary is watching over us. This is the story of the Allen family and the little spider who chose to protect them. Chapter 1. The House That Hummed. When the Allens moved into their new home, the walls still smelled of paint and possibility. Corey carried in the guitars and speakers, already imagining the music that would fill these rooms. Brittany followed with Shiloh, the one-year-old bundle of rhythm, bouncing in her arms and humming along to his own little song. Braden, 12, explored every corner with a flashlight, pretending it was a blaster. He was the family scout, always searching for adventure or snacks. Hadley, 7, twirled through the hall with a tiara on her head, dragging Gigi, Kelly, by the hand. "Come on, Gigi, let's find my dance stage." And Vera, 6, carried a paintbrush in one hand and her tablet in the other. "When we're done, can I paint the sunset on my wall?" Everyone was laughing. Everyone except the quiet little spider in the corner of the parents' room. His name was Harold. He watched them unpack, curious, his fuzzy body tucked near the ceiling fan's shadow. He wasn't the only one. Hidden across the house were his family. Mabel in the kitchen, Finn by the kids' window, Dot in the hallway vent, and Tiny Tom under Gigi's favorite reading chair. The Spider Clan had lived in this house long before anyone else, and when the Allens arrived, they decided to stay, to protect. Chapter 2. The Lights Begin to Sing. It started one night when Braden was playing video games past bedtime. "Lag again," he grumbled, smacking his controller. But this time, it wasn't lag. A faint glow spread across the walls, blue, alive, humming with a pattern that pulsed in time with the game's music. "Whoa," Braden whispered. Outside his window, tiny lights flickered like fireflies, but they weren't bugs. They were threads, stretching from Finn's web to Harold's. In the living room, Hadley was asleep on Gigi's lap when the TV flickered, and a shimmer of silk drew shapes across the screen, hearts and stars twinkling. "Dreams," whispered Gigi, smiling drowsily. Or maybe someone saying hello. Chapter 3. Harold Speaks. Mysterious tone. Corey noticed it next. He was tuning his guitar when the strings began to hum on their own, resonating softly with something unseen. He leaned toward the corner where Harold sat. The web rippled, waves of light bouncing from strand to strand, forming strange symbols. He picked up his phone to record, but the camera filled with static. And then, through the static, came a voice. Soft, gentle, almost childlike. "Stay close. Stay home. Storm coming." Corey froze. He thought it was feedback, maybe the amp, but when he turned it off, the voice whispered again. "Protect the family." Harold's tiny eyes glowed faintly, and for the first time, Corey realized the spider wasn't hiding. He was watching over them. Chapter 4. The Solar Storm. By morning, every device in the house was going haywire. Brittany's phone buzzed with emergency alerts. Massive solar flare. Power grid instability. Outside, transformers popped like fireworks. The sky shimmered with waves of red and blue aurora. "Daddy, the sky looks broken," Vera shouted, clutching her paintbrush. Corey ran to the window, and then stopped. A faint web of light stretched across the glass, forming geometric shapes that moved and reformed like circuitry. "Brittany," he whispered, "it's the spiders." From every corner of the house, the spider family stirred. Mabel in the kitchen, Finn in the kids' room, Dot in the hallway vent, and Harold by the window. Their webs began to connect, forming a luminous lattice of living silk, humming with power. Shiloh clapped his hands and sang along, bouncing in Brittany's arms as the hum deepened into a melody. Hadley twirled through the glow, her tiara sparkling. "It's like fairy lights, Gigi." Braden stared wide-eyed. "I think they're shielding us." Chapter 5. The Web of Light. All through the storm, the Allens huddled together. Outside chaos, inside calm. The webs glowed brighter with every lightning strike, redirecting energy through invisible circuits that Harold and his kin had woven long before. When one window cracked from the pressure, Mabel swung down from the ceiling, reinforcing it with a strand so bright it looked like spun glass. Finn darted across Braden's gaming setup, sealing sparks before they reached the computer. Dot's web stabilized the hallway light. Even Tiny Tom worked, weaving a small barrier around Gigi's chair. And at the center of it all, Harold climbed to the window's heart, where the storm burned brightest. His entire body pulsed with light. Every spider in the house answered him. For one perfect moment, the home glowed like a constellation. Then the power went out everywhere else, but not here. Chapter 6. When the morning came, everything was still. The neighborhood was dark, but the Allens' house was warm, peaceful, untouched. Brittany opened the curtains. Every web in the house had crystallized into thin, glass-like strands, faintly glowing, like veins of frozen light. "Where are they?" Hadley asked softly. "Gone?" Vera whispered, painting a tiny spider on the window. Corey shook his head. "No, they're still here." Shiloh, sitting in Brittany's lap, pointed to the corner. "How-whoa!" he giggled. And sure enough, there he was, Harold. Smaller now, resting quietly beside his family. Each of them faintly glowing, alive but changed. Chapter 7. The Family's Gift. Days passed. The storm's damage outside took weeks to fix, but inside the Allens found something beautiful. Their lights never flickered. Their warmth never faded. The hum of protection lingered, soft as a lullaby. Sometimes when Corey played guitar, the glassy webs would shimmer faintly in rhythm, the melody of safety. When Brittany sang to Shiloh before bed, the hum joined in, faintly echoing her voice. When Braden laughed at his games, the webs pulsed like strobe lights. When Hadley danced, the light followed her spin. And when Vera painted, soft colors glowed through the crystalline threads, like the house itself was proud of her art. Even Gigi swore she heard, "Thank you," whispered through her tea kettle one morning. Harold's family had become part of their home, silent protectors watching from the corners. Chapter 8. The Promise. One evening, the family sat together in the living room, guitars resting, laughter echoing, the kids piled on blankets. Brittany smiled and said, "You know, I think Harold and his family love us." Corey grinned. "Then I guess we better keep the place clean for our heroes." Braden laughed. "Even the bathroom ones?" Everyone laughed. The lights flickered once, gently. Then again. The webs glowed a soft, warm gold. Vera looked up at the ceiling and whispered, "Good night, Harold." And somewhere above, a faint blue spark twinkled in reply, like a tiny star, right there in the corner. Some heroes wear armor, some wield fire, and some are no bigger than your hand, watching from the corners, keeping the people they love safe. Harold and the Web of Light, a story of family, love, and the quiet guardians we never see.